It's early, Shannon, Joy, but I'm going D-O-N-E, done for the Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
1-3 with Cam and concussion protocol, that feels pretty done to me. 1-3 with the defense that has fallen to 28th in the National Football League in points allowed. They were 6th last year. That feels done to me. 1-3 for a team that last year led the NFL in turnover differential, has fallen now to 25th in that category. That feels pretty done to me. And I'm going to go right to the source of done. I'm going to go to the key. As soon as Josh Norman was allowed to leave, I think they were done. Wow. I think they dearly miss Josh Norman. And by the way, it was the line of the day when Josh was asked how he felt about what Julio had done to his team. He said, I'll just sip my tea on that one. I love that because I'm going to sip my tea on that one too and conclude that Josh Norman is dearly missed because of his presence in that secondary, his trash talking, his rub-off effect on all the other DBs in that secondary, and finally, his ability to maybe not control, but to at least contain a number one receiver, both physically and psychologically. And I realized $75 million was a lot to pay, but I'm pretty sure they could have kept Josh. Well, I know they could have kept him for the franchise tag, which would have been $14 million. Mm-hmm. And he kept dropping hints about he would take a hometown discount. Obviously, he went to Coastal, so he's a Carolina guy. And I think he would have stayed if they just met him a little bit halfway.
But I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he didn't stay.
All right.
Don't take a discount.
All right, fair enough. So now they're left with Ben Wickery and Worley on the corners. And yesterday, Julio Jones, as we all know, staged a one-man track meet in Atlanta. 12 catches, 300 yards, and he was mostly single-covered by Ben Wickery or single-covered occasionally by Worley on the other side. What are you doing, Panthers? That's pride goeth before the fall. Mm-hmm. That's we're not going to swallow our pride. We're going to show you our corners can stand up to Julio. No, they can't. They got run over by Julio. And as you well know, last year in Carolina, Julio got caught 10 for 80. Mm-hmm. Not bad. They lost 38-0. And then at Atlanta last year, he caught 11 for 178 in Week 15.
Was Josh sipping his tea then?
He was. I'll tell you what he was doing. He was at least containing him because the final score was 20-13 Atlanta. It was the upset of the year. It was the 15-1 upset. But again, did Julio have dramatic impact on the scoreboard that day? He did not. Did he have dramatic impact on the 48 they scored yesterday? You better believe he did. Did he have psychological trauma impact on the secondary yesterday? He did. Not so much last year because of Josh Norman. Because you look around and you say, oh, we got Josh on our side. Josh is still talking to him. Josh is not backing down from him. So you know you have a chance with Josh. You don't think in the end you have a chance with Ben Wickery covering Julio Jones single coverage. So again, I think they were done the moment they cut bait with Josh Norman.
And plus Julio was in and out of the lineup because he's been dealing with that calf injury. He has not practiced in a very long time.
What did he catch at New Orleans? One ball for 7 yards?
He caught one. Yeah. And this is how you knew their offense, Atlanta's offense was good because they scored 45 and Julio only had one catch. But, Skip, I want to look at the other side of the ball because if you look at their offensive numbers, they led the league in scoring last year with 31 points a game. They're sixth right now at 27.3. But if you can pull up something on the monitor, I want the fans at home to be able to see this. Cam is starting to take too many big hits. He's showboating, Skip. Okay. And hopefully we can get that pulled up right quick. And you remember in Week 1, the NFLPA and the NFL are investigating whether Cam's situation was handled properly. That's still an ongoing situation. But look at this, Skip. What is he doing? It's man coverage. You know it's man coverage because the linebacker is walked on Freeman. He knows that on a 5'7" running back, you're not going to throw a fade to a 5'7" running back. So he's splitting the difference. He knows the only route you want to throw is a slant. What is this? Now, he did something very similar to this last year in New Orleans, remember? He had the naked boot, had a touchdown, and he bull jabbing around, looking on the inside, and the guy comes from the outside and cleans his clock. Here it is. Look at this. What? You do not get protections once you leave the pocket. You are a runner. You are not a quarterback. Although you have number 1 on, You are not a quarterback at that moment. You are a runner. And I do not care how big, how strong, how fast Cam is. There's not a material known to man that if you do not hammer it enough, it will break. And that's what's going to happen to Cam. Now, he's tied for second in the league in sacks. He's number one in hits. How long do you think that can carry on, Skip? Not very long. Now, here's the reason I'm going to say they're not done, is because they still have Atlanta again in their place. They still have New Orleans twice, and they still have Tampa. So there's still they still can control their own destiny within this division. But because they can't protect him right now, Michael Lohr, his left tackle, is out. He's in concussion protocol. They have some issues on that side of the football because you're scoring fewer. As you mentioned, the defense is giving up 10 points more per game. You're not going to win.